friends, it's Chumsy Mumsy. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about the best $30 I ever spent. The first part is how I met my husband. The way I met my husband was by going on Match.com. I never thought that I would do something like that, but when I was going through my divorce, a good friend of mine suggested that I try Match. She said, "It's worth a try, we've got nothing to lose." So she helped me work on my profile and I created an account, and she said, "It's only going to cost $30. Try finding $30 on a credit card. If you don't have the $30, I'll lend it to you, but please just take a chance. You never know what could happen." Well, sure enough, 4 days later, I met my husband, and we hit it off right away. I remember looking at one of his profile pics and just thinking, wow, he looks so handsome. And we were emailing each other on Match.com, and that led to texting each other. He sent me pictures of his sister who had just had a baby, and then we started talking on the phone. And we just really got to know each other pretty quickly, but I felt like we were having pretty deep conversations right away. And he just really impressed me because he was such a kind person and really family oriented. He had 3 children of his own, and I had my 2. And he was working in the city that I lived in, and the relationship progressed pretty quickly from the phone calls to setting up a date. And we decided to go out to dinner. And when I saw him, I remember feeling so relieved that he actually looked like the profile picture. And we hugged each other and gave each other a kiss. And the rest is history. So fast forward 3 years. Now I'm going to talk about how we got married. My boyfriend was starting to look a little worried when I would catch a glimpse of him occasionally. And I noticed that he almost looked like he was sick, and I was starting to get worried, what is wrong with him? And I was telling him how I had to work for part of Labor Day weekend, and we were watching TV one day, and he just turned to me and he said, "Will you marry me?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Will you marry me tomorrow?" And I said, "Yes." And then I thought, wait a second, what does this mean? And he said, "Well, I want to elope. We both had big weddings before, and I really just want this to be between you and me. And I have it all planned, and you threw a wrench into my plan when you said you had to work one of the days over the weekend, and I had to reschedule everything. But now that, green light means go, and here's your ring, and I have a ring, and let's just do this." And I said, "Okay, let's do it." I was so excited. I said, "I actually have a confession to make. I already have a dress." And he said, "Of course you do." What had happened was, at the thrift store that I worked at, it was Halloween preparation time, and someone had donated this beautiful strapless white shimmery gown with a daisy beaded applique on the waistline, and I just was so drawn to it. And it was $25, but half off. So I paid $12.50 for this dress. And I gave it to the friend that had suggested that I try Match.com and said, "Can you please keep this in your closet? Because I don't want my boyfriend to know. I feel like he's going to ask me to marry him soon." Well, coincidentally, that same evening, we had plans to go to a friend's house to celebrate our mutual birthday. I have a birthday twin. And so this birthday celebration turned into an engagement party. We toasted with champagne. It was so exciting, and I told everyone to keep it a big secret. Suddenly, I had a lot of things to think about. So I had the dress, I had some shoes I could wear, I thought I'll just make a bouquet. We went to the grocery store, I bought some hot pink Gerber daisies and some white roses. I wrapped them with tulle and ribbon. I made myself a bouquet, and I added an antique brooch and a couple of pictures of my daughters. Here's a picture with our 2 rings, the bouquet, and an antique silver purse that I carried down the aisle. And I needed to get my husband a pair of pants. I asked him to wear a Hawaiian shirt so we could go totally casual. And I did my own hair and makeup, and we did it. We went to a little chapel. That's a picture of my dress there, and we got married. It was time to celebrate. We went out to this really yummy dinner, and we sat in this private booth, and when the waiter brought in our food, he took a look at me and he said, "Your dress is super cute." And I said, "Thank you." Now onto the honeymoon. We had a trip planned to Hawaii, and now that we were married, this trip turned into our honeymoon. And we had planned this trip to go with another couple, and it's not customary to take another couple on your honeymoon with you, but we decided it's already planned, the timing is perfect, this is our honeymoon. We had booked this really great condo, and when we got there, the condo had water damage, so they said we need to move you into another unit, and we happened to get upgraded to an oceanfront unit that was just perfect, beautiful, beyond our wildest dreams, and it was all on a budget. Most weddings include a reception afterwards, but because we eloped, we really wanted to celebrate with our families and our friends when we got back. So we decided to have a reception, and we planned one 6 months out, and we had a budget. So what we did is we spent our budget money on the venue and a DJ. And I assembled a reception team of my friends and family, and we designated certain people to do certain things. We had friends be the MC, we had a bartender, we had a friend doing a slideshow of pictures we had put together. We made an iPod shuffle playlist for the DJ to use. We did order a sheet cake and a bride and groom cake from Lucky's and had them decorate it Hawaiian. And we did order wine and served wine, but otherwise it was a potluck. So we saved money on catering, and I started thrifting all of the decorations for the reception. It was going to have a Hawaiian theme, so I started collecting seashells and tablecloths, and I had vases that I filled with sand and shells and candles, and I printed out our own programs. I borrowed whatever I could to save money, and I had kids' tables set up with toys and little activity books and crayons and pens that I bought for a really good deal off of a friend that had recently gotten married. And it was really fun. I set up plastic totes so that when my friends were helping to set up the reception, they knew exactly what was to be included on each table. This is a picture of the table when you first walked in. There's framed pictures of both of our parents. And the food was super yummy. Having people bring food was really a money saver, and it was delicious. There was such a great variety. I don't even think I asked people to bring certain things. They just brought whatever they wanted. And here's a picture of the cake. And our little bride and groom cake had the same cake topper that was on my parents' wedding cake. It survived after all those years. So, folks, that is the story of the best $30 that I ever spent, and our beautiful love story. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.